Okay, so we're just going through doing a check of the windows. Last time we were here, just a couple days ago, I knew it was going to be raining, and so I decided to do a little experiment where if I stuck a shop towel up there, what would it do? Well, what's kind of cool about this one is that there's only moisture right here. It did not drip at all. So this is just a teeny tiny little problem on this window. That's good news. We're calling this our pantry window. I had stuck a shop towel here and here, and as you can see, these shop towels are soaked. There is some water in the bucket. This is wet here. So basically this corner is a problem. This is the kitchen window. There is quite a bit of moisture along the bottom edge. Well, this is a little bit damp, but it's not super damp. This is very damp right here.
Better than it was before.
Yeah, it's better than it was before. So we're making progress. Here is the bathroom window. There is water, and it seems like it is mainly on this corner here. So this one, oh yeah, there's a lot of water in this. Let's see here. So right about here it starts to get dry. The moisture is actually coming from this area, and then it's just sort of soaking in and spreading because it gets drier and drier as you go. So I don't think this area is actually causing the moisture. We're trying a technique that we got from Justin from Mobile Dwellings, and he did this on his own bus conversion when he was having some leaks. We are using this paint-on product called GeoCell ProFlex RV. It says it's a multi-purpose brushable crystal clear repair coating, and it's used for lots of different things. And one of the things I think is really cool about it is that it's self-leveling. When we're putting it in all these little nooks and crannies, it will seep into any place it can seep in. So that's cool. I went around and did kind of one coat. It's better, but it still has some ways to go. So I'm going to use these paint brushes and go back and do it some more.
Thanks, Justin, for the heads up. I also want to say, when he did it, first time he used this stuff, it didn't completely work. And then he just went back and redid it, tried a couple of other things, but eventually all it took was just more applications of this until most of the little nooks and crannies, little pinholes were actually filled in. And he did say that he does a little bit of maintenance every year. Leaking windows, that's a problem.
It's something that's really worried me, but now that, after we watched Justin's video, I was like, okay, it's not just us, and it's not just because we chose these windows. This is just a thing we have to deal with. Yeah. So we're gonna deal with it, and we will figure it out. I'm less scared now.
Good. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. The rain has been heavy lately, so it's just as well that we can track these things down now. All right. I think it's important to say that I am not a licensed electrician. I'm not an electrician at all. So this is not a tutorial. This is a documentation of my experience and what I did. Let's see if it works. All right, we're gonna run some wires today. I've got here 250-foot spool of Anchor Marine Grade 14-2. This is for most of our DC wiring. Ooh, it's heavy. That's rolling away. There are other ways to do this. There are other wire grades you can use. The best thing that I have heard from people who have done this before me is that use stranded wire, not solid wire like you would use, or Romex like you would use for your house, because it's more prone to breaking, and you do not want to have to track down a broken short somewhere in your walls that you have a heck of a time getting to. So stranded wire, tin copper, not copper-coated aluminum wire, same reason, less prone to breakage. If you're going to use cables that are flat, and by that I mean cables that can lay flat, they're not rounded. Even the 12-3 I have for the AC is flat. All three wires inside this cable would be side by side. Got this from two sources, Chuck Cassidy, you may have heard of, and Justin from Gilligan Phantom, or now it's Mobile Dwellings. Both of those gentlemen suggested this kind of wire, this specific brand of wire, and I'm going to follow their lead on it. I have seen people use extension cords. Extension cords from an AC300 just run throughout the bus. I've seen extension cord connected to distribution panels in lieu of AC cables, which, to each his own, but this is our home. I think it's important that we go with cables and other things that will stand the test of time, that will last longer, with less concern in my brain over, breakage. Anyway. You may have seen the wires we run already for the heaters. That's 12-2. That basically means it's 12 gauge with two conductors inside the cable. And here is another 12-2 coming out here and coming up here. You can see the red and the black here are our solar cables. This is a 12-2, I believe, that goes to the max air fan over there, and there's another one along here that goes to the max air fan over there. We wired those up long before we got to the point of doing the furring strips or even the floor, primarily because we wanted them installed and we wanted to use them in the middle of summer, and they worked a charm. We're also going to be using, oh hi. We're also going to be using Wago. lever nuts instead of the screw-on wire nuts. Everything I've looked at says they're great. They're perfectly fine to replace it, and they are reusable too. Wire nuts are generally not reusable, but the Wago. I'm going to call them Wago. 2 vowels separated by a consonant. The first vowel is almost always long. Learned that when I was a wee lad. Anyway, they are reusable and they're just as solidly built and can stand the same kind of current. This is one here, and there's two here actually. I taped them up back in the day when I thought I'm not sure if I could count on them, so I'm just going to tape them up just to be safe. I don't have to tape them up. I'm not going to from now on. They're just going to sit there like wire nuts would as a basic intro to what I'm going to be using. So let's get to work. First thing I want to do is run some wire for the clearance lights. I'm going to start from the top down. These are clearance lights. You can see where it goes through the wall and out into the light. We've got them another on that side, bunch on that side, and over there in the front. So we need to get some cables run for those. I won't be connecting them today. I'm just going to run the cable. Let's get to that. So this is going to be for the clearance lights, as I said. When I'm thinking, I'll start here and knock stuff over and string it around here, up to here, and then down and along right to the back. This would be a lot better with a step ladder, but we left that at home. I am not zip tying them super tight at this point. I want to have some play so that we can adjust later. These wires, they don't connect to anything. I think I'll just pull them off. So I'm pretty sure they're dead. Might be wondering why I don't just tape everything. This is going to be behind walls and it's going to be long term. By long term, I mean years. And I don't want to have anything failing. I don't want to be driving down the road and hear a wire going slap, 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 slap somewhere behind a wall. So I'm going to do my best to try and mitigate that. And I understand that 3M adhesive is pretty darn good. So we'll find out. So we got a lot of stuff done yesterday, but I forgot to record it. I forgot to bring the equipment. So let me show you real quick what we did. Look at this. Look at this stuff. We got most of the AC done. As you can see over here, we got a little list of what we needed to get done. We had 5 single circuits, and that included the mini split, which is right here, the refrigerator, which is down here, and I think this is for the fridge. Yes, it is. And this would be for the mini split. Yes, it is. Down here, the wire for the cooktop, which will be eventually going into here. And then right there knotted up, that is for the hot water heater, which is going to go under the sink. Today, we're going to be doing the hopefully the AC outlets, and then the USB ports, which is, again, 12 volt, 14 gauge, 2 wires, or 14-2. Yeah. But let me tell you a little bit about what we got here. We have 14, let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to have 9 regular use 120 volt AC receptacles. We're also going to have our refrigerator, of course, needs its own receptacle. These ones don't count, by the way. The appliance receptacles don't count among that general use receptacle list that I just gave you. In total, I think there's about 14. Let me look at the list here. You probably can't see this because it might be a little bit washed out, but we have 2 Blue Eddy AC300s down below, so that's 2 towers of power, as we were calling them, and we've separated them rather than bind them together to get, because the only good thing about binding them together is you get 240 volts, but we don't have anything that requires 240, so we're just keeping them separate, considering a bit of redundancy, which is great because we can always have, if one of them needs to go into the service, we can always plug everything into the one. We just have to be aware of our usage because each one can only output 3,000 watts at any one time. So we've got 5 single circuits we calculated. The cooktop has to be on its own circuit. That's an induction cooktop 2-burner. The mini split has to be on its own circuit. The refrigerator has to be on its own circuit. Our hot water heater is going to be on its own circuit. So what is that? That's the cooktop, the mini split, hot water heater, the refrigerator. We have an LG combo washer dryer that we are going to put in here on the passenger side. side, and we were considering putting that on its own circuit. However, we also have an appliance closet sitting right here, which will require an outlet, and right behind that, vanity area in the bathroom that we want to put an outlet in. So I figured they're all close together, and I didn't see the point in running different cables for that. So I think we're going to be okay. We just have to be aware when we're cooking. We just have to be aware when we're washing clothes. Although sometimes you want to cook them too. That's just silly. I'm a silly boy. So we're considering that one circuit. We've got the combo, the washer dryer, the appliance closet outlet, and the vanity outlet, which will be a GFCI. So that's part of, I think that's one of the 5. Cooktop, mini split, hot water heater, refrigerator, then washer dryer. Then we've got 4 bedroom outlets, which will be on their own circuit. And we've got 4 what we call the great room outlets, which is the kitchen, Jamie's office, and the living room area. And that's going to be another 4 outlets. So that's 4 there. And there's going to be 1 more outlet for the projector that we're going to put in the roof of the cockpit area. Now we split these up, as you can see. For instance, the cooktop and the mini split and the bedroom outlets will all be running off the AC300 on the driver's side. The appliance closet with the LG combo washer dryer, the hot water heater, the refrigerator, they'll all be running off the AC300 on the passenger side, and we've run the wires mostly already over here. We've also split up most of the DC outlets, and let me explain that. We've already wired up the max air fans on either side, as well as the diesel heater and the power door locks on the front door, which granted don't take that much juice when they're not actually power door unlocking. They've all been wired up to the DC fuse block that the passenger side Bluetti AC300 uses. So we've decided to put the rest of all the DC outlets or DC loads on the driver's side. That includes our running lights. That's going to be another video all on its own. I'm using our house batteries, our house system, to run our running lights. And all the USB outlets. Yeah, so that's all going to be run off this side. And everything else on this side for the DC. We tried to split it up as evenly as we could. Time will tell if that actually works out to our advantage or if it does work out and balance each other. If not, we will make some changes. We've got all the time in the world, but this looks like a good balanced load right here. Today we're going to try and run a circuit for the AC outlets, receptacles in the bedroom and the great room. And if we have the time, we're going to do the 14-2 wires for the USB outlets that we're going to have scattered about. How many are we going to have those? I have that down. I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, let's get to work. We've got most of the cables run. We're still waiting on some 12.3 to finish up the AC run, but almost everything is done. And cable management as well, most of that is complete. So we can start working on cutting off the first run of furring strips where we need to in order for the cables to run underneath. I've explained that in another video. I'll poke that here so you can take a look at that if you want at your leisure. Now, we've had some problems with our audio equipment again. This time I think it was a cable. It was nothing but crackles and pops. We did a lot of work on the wiring runs, and I explained it as I'm going along, but the audio sucked. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you in and I'm going to give you a little tour and show you around. Let's do that. Along here, this is for the clearance lights, and you see over there as well. This is for a dimmer switch for our puck lights, and I've run the puck lights, and you can see puck lights here, puck lights all the way down. This is where our couch will be, so there's going to be AC outlet here as well as a USB port, and the same over here. And down here is Jamie's desk, and we're going to have the same AC outlet and USB port here, so you can see the runs for that. We're standing over the utility bay right now, so we've got a lot of the wires coming to an end here, and they have yet to go down into the bays. The bathroom doesn't have much. Bathroom's got its that's my writing, WC Puck. Sounds like a character from a bad novel. And DC outlet here. Oh, this is for this is a switch. Switch is going here for the bedroom puck lights, as you can see. And AC outlet and USB outlet for the bedside, and the same on that side. You may not have seen the video of us running cables because of the audio screwed up. You didn't miss much. It's very straightforward stuff. We just made sure we measured the length plus a really, really liberal margin. So there's going to be a lot left over. I'll show you an example. There's going to be a box here, an electrical box with a receptacle in it. And this is the cable I've left for it, so that gives you an idea of how careful I was making sure there was enough to work with, since I had that debacle earlier with the wires from the max air fans originally. I thought I cut what I thought was perfect size. Turns out perfect size is always too little, so you leave more than you think. Another example, this is a dimmer switch that's sitting here. Yeah, so that's what I've got done so far. Jamie is outside. There she is. Say hello.
Hi. I'm working on the composting toilet plans.
That's exciting. Because boy, I tell you, we could really use a toilet out here. I mean, we've got one, but it's in my sister and brother-in-law's home, which is nice, but sometimes you just want to have your own place to go. Today, furring strips. Let's get to that. Ooh. I'm a bit of a mess, but I got this done. Second course on, all the way down on this one, and proof of concept in place. Look at that. They just come right on through. I'm very pleased. Now, 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many more to do, but I think it'll go pretty quickly now that I've got the slots cut out. Also, this little thing, we're gonna bolt a folding jump seat that Jamie can use as her desk. It's a really nice one too. You've probably seen it. It's teak. It's a sit-stand desk. She'll probably be standing most of the time, but when she wants to sit, there it is. She can just fold it up, doesn't take up any space, and we'll see how that works out. We'll come back tomorrow and see how far we get. All right, everybody. See you next time.